Mars to stop the chocolate inside from melting. It was kind of something like it could have been, or something inspired by, or it could have been like the chocolate beans made by Rowntree in York, UK, England, since 1882. So basically, when Mars came back to the US in 1940, he sought out finding like son of another famed candy man, who was Hershey's president, William Murray, to put his own spin on the Spanish candies that he saw being distributed in the Spanish World War, Civil War. So this was Bruce Murray. And with this partnership with Bruce Murray, this gave basically Mars access to this new venture, which was very lucrative during the Second World War, because it meant that he had access to Hershey's fucking chocolate and Hershey's sugar, and while rations were short in the war, and that helped out because Hershey president William Murray at the time, he had struck a deal with the US to be for his chocolates to be part of the rations pack, and so to be passed around the troops and stuff like that. So obviously that helped out for that. M&Ms were passed around in World War, and they were known under Ration D in the Hershey chocolate bar.
Imagine, do you even need chocolate while you're in the war?
Yeah, man.
Like, you know what I mean?
Quick release energy, man.
Really?
Sugar rush. Sugar, man. Something to eat. So,
I thought they'll be after a beer or something, brother, after they finish just slugging it out. Man just comes back and be like, yeah, give me some chocolate still. big 6 foot Matumbo brother. It's come through, dumping. Yeah.
So
I want that small little round chocolate. Melt in my mouth. Got me feeling about the trenches now.
Like, obviously after the Second World War, when they came back and the ration shortage stopped, basically this is the snaky part here. Mars, he fucking bought up Murray's 20% interest in the company, and then went on to be Hershey's biggest competitor. And even though like the partnership between Mars and Murray dissolved, because the imprint of the M&Ms kind of stuck during the war, they kind of just continued it. And like it was in
the brand stuck.
Yeah, the brand stuck, so they couldn't really. I think it was in 1950 they started to print on the M's on the candy, and it was kind of like Mars said they described it as akin to an offset printing. Akin to offset printing. Jeez. But yeah, man.
My nigga. Yo.
That's
I got turned.
That's what I mean. Like he. But it was all his idea anyway. Like he researched everything. He went through the Spanish Civil War. He found these chocolates. All he needed really was like that investor. So he found his investor. It was like fucking the William Murray's son. That's who he needed. He got his business. He needed the chocolate. He needed like a supplier. He got the supplier from Hershey's. Hershey's had all that clientele, so he just automatically got the clientele.
You should have at least broke my man or something, man.
No,
That's my man's recipe. Like he didn't sculpt. He didn't think. He didn't
everything.
Spend, he went in the kitchen. Like you know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to sculpt it like that, bro.
That's true.
It's like me going to like Cuba.
Yeah.
And then like I don't know. I'll just cross by this old guy, and he just gives me some, Cuban Tabasco sauce, Now I'm thinking, wow, this is the best thing I've ever tasted. And I take that, and I go to the Western world, and I blow up off of it.
Hey man,
you gotta give it back, bro. You gotta give it something back.
Hey man, it's business, man. It's like Have you seen the film The Founder? I haven't seen it, but I know what it's about. It's basically about how.
I wonder if he ever walked into a shop, The Founder, or just came across it. You know, that's like the worst taste. Easily thinking, what? You copied my chocolates, hombre.
No, but the film The Founder. Do you know the story about McDonald's?
Yeah.
That's what The Founder's about, basically. It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah, it is.
It's business, man.
It's business. It's not personal.
Yeah, it's not personal. It's business.
I guess so.
It's business.
I guess so.
So my final random fact, basically, is: did you know that there was really a Captain Morgan? And he was Welsh. He was a Welsh pirate who later became the Lieutenant Governor of Jamaica.
Captain
His name is Sir Henry Morgan.
Morgan. With a drink.
Yeah, like the drink, like Captain Morgan's a drink. There was a real Captain Morgan. He was a Welsh pirate who later became Lieutenant Governor of Jamaica. So the backstory is basically that obviously there's not much known about his early life, but they know that he was born in South Wales. There's not much known about how he got from South Wales to the West Indies, but somehow he did it. He was, at the time, he was a privateer, and he was probably a member of a group of raiders led by Sir Christopher Mingings in the early 1660s. Morgan became close friends with Sir Thomas Modiford, who was the governor of Jamaica at the time. When diplomatic relations between the Kingdom of England and Spain worsened in 1667, Modiford gave Morgan a letter of marque, a license to attack and seize Spanish vessels. Morgan subsequently conducted a successful and highly lucrative raid of Porto Príncipe, which is now part of modern-day Cuba, and Portobello, which is now in modern Panama. In 1668, he sailed for Marcio Bayo and Gibraltar, both Lake Macabeo, which is now in modern-day Venezuela. He raided and plundered both cities, both destroying large Spanish squadrons as he escaped. In 1671...
He fought his way out or something?
Huh?
What do you mean?
What? He destroyed large Spanish squadrons as he escaped, like the cities.
Okay.
So in 1671, Morgan attacked Panama City, landing on the Caribbean coast and traversing the Istuma before attacking the city, which was on the Pacific coast. The battle was rough, and although the privateer didn't profit as much as his other raids, he was also captured by the Spanish.
Don't fuck with Pedro. Don't fuck with Pedro, you know.
But the peak thing was, like, at the time, the Spanish had just signed the peace treaty with England, so they couldn't execute him or anything. They had to send him back to England.
Oh, he's lucky.
Oh, he got a lucky escape. Bro.
I mean.
They must at least boxed him up a few times. Bro. You know what I'm saying? Trust me. Just boxed him up on his way to the boat and boxed him into the boat. Well, I would have done that. That's what I would have done.
Kick him in there.
So
Shout out to the guy who boxed him up in the boat, though. OG. Like, OG.
So, see, Morgan was arrested and summoned to London in 1672. But he was treated as a hero, and the general populace and leading figures of government and royalty, including Charles II, all greeted him.
Damn, bruh.
He was then appointed Knight Bachelor in November 1674 and returned to Jamaica shortly after to serve as the territory's lieutenant governor. He served on the Assembly of Jamaica until 1683, and on three occasions he acted as governor of Jamaica in the absence of the post holder.
Those are like a peak in the face, bro. I swear down. Like you turn him to a hero as well. Like, you know what I mean? After making a piss, you know what I mean? After, like, the
Man
same
just spent
person who
years
killed
fucking up towns, yeah?
and you making him
And
a
you just
hero.
thought, you know what?
Ooh.
I'm tired of this shit. I'm gonna make a change. I'm gonna make a change, man.
I let them catch me.
Catch me.
I let them catch me.
What was his motivational speech? Man, you see these walls? I'm gonna rebuild them up. Because I've been fucking up shit for way too long.
For real.
Way too long.
And also, this is the best part. Like, there was a memorial book that was published by a former shipmate of Morgan called Alexander Escalin, and he accused the privateer of widespread torture and other offenses. Morgan brought a libel suit against the book, an English publisher, and he won.
Trying to
Rewind that one. Rewind that one again. What happened?
It said that there was a book that was published by a former shipmate of Morgan, Captain Morgan, and he accused the privateer of widespread torture and other offences. But Morgan brought a libel suit against the book's English publisher and won.
OG. I'm telling you, this guy is OG. What's his name? What's his name?
Morgan.
Sir Henry Morgan.
Henry Morgan. Yeah? OG.
So
I thought, no, man.
He's a lucky bastard,
He's a-
man.
No, he's
Yeah,
not
like
like
your
that, but he's,
bastard,
you
bro.
know, that's OG.
That's what I mean.
Man's
Yeah.
gone, raided towns for change, made his change, fuck shit up, got caught, changed, then someone tried to hit him back, and like an OG, and got that wiped away. He's got that wiped away. He's got that wipe away money. He's smart. He's probably getting them checks thinking, what? Oh, I'm unstoppable now.
He's
Slap a
war
lawsuit.
hero.
He just went, listen, man, Bob, go away, man. He's like, go away.
So, like,
That's what the governor of Jamaica does.
that's what I mean. So, although, like,
Does it say what he paid him in?
nah, it doesn't say nothing like that.
Ah,
Not in my source that I read from.
I wonder what he paid him in still.
So,
Could be that one or two things. Could be that one or two things. I swear down,
You're saying
bro.
he paid him?
Anyway.
so although, like, the black picture Escalamin portrayed Morgan that it didn't affect his point in history. He died in Jamaica on the 28th of August, 1688. His life was romanticized after his death, and he became inspiration for pirate-themed works of fiction across a range of genres, rather. Like, I tried to find, like, some sort of link between the Captain Morgan's rum brand and Captain Sir Henry Morgan, but there's no actual real links. It's just some company bought the name. And so
His name is forever.
yeah,
His name is forever
it
still.
just so happens that there's an actual Captain Morgan in history. So
But I don't think I can bring
Became
this up.
a hero.
Since I can bring up in front of a group of people that, oh guys, see Captain Morgan, yeah.
or like if you're drinking Morgan Spice in a like a house party or something, and like
That ain't a chat line.
it's
Yo,
not
babe,
it's not a chat up line, but it's
by
like
the way, you know Captain Morgan.
it's an interesting fact,
But it's
man.
a good fact though.
Like,
It is a good
you-
fact. That is a good fact.
Yeah.
Decent fact though. Yeah.
But
I'll
yeah,
give you
man.
that. I'll give you that one.
That's all I planned for the show. Like after that, it's like up to you guys, man. Like, you've been seeing anything that's happening in the world that you want to talk about, or any random facts that you have that?
Yeah, I was kind of like, I was on my phone the other day.
Yeah.
And actually no, this morning, sorry. And I was scrolling through,